I'd like to welcome y'all to Fountain Lake School District, our May board meeting, and we'll start off with a pledge and a prayer. Please stand. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you tonight. Just thank you for your many blessings. Just thank you for guiding and protecting the school district, Lord. Just as we get close to the end, just continue to put a hedge of protection around our staff, our students, our community, Lord. Just be with us as members, Lord, and that we try to make the best decisions we can. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
No public comment? No. No. We'll go right into our monthly building report.
Okay, so we will start with celebrations. It's been a busy couple months in elementary. April and May is the busiest time of year, so we're winding down. But we just want to celebrate our Cobra parent partners and community partners for providing lots of goodies for our teachers this last week during Teacher Appreciation Week, and we just want them to know how much we appreciate that. Also, we've been having Atlas testing for the last couple weeks. All grades K-4 have been testing. That went really smoothly, and we're really proud of our students' hard work and the teachers and different staff for administering and supervising our kids. Got a couple pictures there of our great little charcuterie breakfast board that was set up by Brittany in the cafeteria. Our the first period paid for the cookout, and then we have Carrie and then Miss Will Height there that did a lot of stuff for our kids. So just we really appreciate all that. So just some fun pictures for y'all. And Entergy, I think, is down there on the left, maybe. They delivered some stuff. So, yeah, we have so much stuff.
Yeah.
And so really here for my board report, really we just have a few Atlas updates. Can't really give any updates on our K2 scores because there were some discrepancies in the way those were being graded. So the state had to take them back, and they're currently looking at all those in the literacy portion. So we're waiting on that. We're also still waiting on fourth grade results to come in because they do take about 5% of those and hand score them. So we're waiting on this to come back too. But all of our third grade scores have come in, and then we have fourth math and science in too. So far things are looking really good. We're really proud of our kids, like I said earlier. So, and I know you all have heard about our new, third grade retention law. So, according to all of our data and how well our kids scored, we're only looking at about 8 third graders who are at risk for retention, and they do have the opportunity to come to summer school and have some interventions and retake the Atlas. And if they scored a level 2 on that at the end of summer school, then they're able to be promoted to fourth grade. So that's a really good number considering we have 100 kids in third grade. So, yeah.
When do they retake that?
At the end of summer school. So at the very last week of June when we're here. So they'll get 5 weeks of intervention, and then they can retake the test. And the scores are pretty immediate. Like we had them back with the afternoon for that. So. Okay, that's it. Thanks all.
And next we go to Cobra Broadcasting.
They're trying to wipe some chicken off their face. Those guys are full practice, so they had to get the protein in real quick. Personally, I think one of the biggest things we did this year was take on some of our live basketball games, and we started to do some football and softball towards the end of the year. But a big undertaking like that isn't possible without really good kids. So I wanted just to go down the list and these guys to introduce themselves and kind of tell you what they did with our broadcasting this year.
Cody, will you bring him over here?
Absolutely. You guys can see.
We can all be on video here. With the chicken on your face.
Yeah, with the barbecue all over your face.
My name's Remy Gutierrez. I just manned the cameras. It was either left or right camera.
I'm Nate Jordan. I'm one of the commentators, and I also run our social media page for our sports.
I'm Aiden Knoll. I was our technical director. I told all these guys what to do, and then I helped him run the social media sometimes.
I'm Devin Williams. I was mainly a commentator. Every now and then I helped with the camera and I help out with the social media.
I'm Zulano. I was a cameraman behind the scenes and a substitute commentator.
I don't know if you guys got to watch some of our live broadcasts, but they're really good. A lot of this credit goes to Hayden and his team because, the broadcasts that they put on, the replay, the 4K cameras, that took a lot of work and a lot of money. but it was very beneficial just for our YouTube page. The subscribers from the time we went live for that first game have gone up 80%.
Yeah.
Since we started going live. And then, graduation that we just had about 800 views for graduation, and just one of our basketball games this year had 1,700 views. So that shows that people are liking that stuff. So next year we are already working on getting football up and rolling for that. So if you look at what we've done in basketball, football will probably be one of the best broadcasts for a high school in the state. So
For sure.
I think y'all,
Dude, awesome.
yeah, I think y'all did
Thank you.
an awesome job. And, I know I watched several of the basketball, then y'all started doing baseball and softball at the end. And I mean, y'all did, like, I was looking forward to, and sometimes I'd sit in the stands if I had enough service, and I'd listen to y'all and I'd watch the game at the field. So, I mean, y'all did an awesome job. And I know Coach Rhodes had a lot to do with that. He helped y'all out and, kind of got y'all on the right path, and y'all doing an awesome job. And I heard we have, like, huge numbers for next year.
yes.
So,
What grade are you all in?
I'm a freshman.
Just graduated.
Junior. So most of us would be returned next year, so we'll have experience under our belt, and hopefully we make it even better.
That would be great.
Yeah, we're hoping this summer, while we're working on hardware stuff at the football field, that we're also able to provide training opportunities for our kids. They can start filming some practices and just practice, so when we get that first game, we're rocking and rolling. It's going to be good.
Has this made any of y'all want to do this after you graduate?
Oh, for sure. We do. We attended a OBU conference and talked to a lot of broadcasters there. We learned a lot from that.
We also went to the basketball state championship
Oh,
in
yeah.
Lakeside, and we also met the
Yeah.
Arkansas Sports Network. And we'll be running the social media for the baseball and
Yes.
softball state
That's
championship.
the biggest thing coming up in the next 2 weeks. All of us are on the team for the social media for baseball and softball finals.
Awesome.
Y'all did great.
Oh, and that's in town too.
Yes,
I'm very excited to see what comes out of it. Thank you. How are you?
Get you a purple shirt.
I was thinking about this one. I see graduation.
All right, ready? Look at me and smile. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Perfect.
Good job, guys.
Yeah, I know the next year, you guys, Coach Rhodes, they had several watchers. All right, next we have our consent agenda. Does anybody have any questions on that? If not, we'll consider that approved by unanimous consent. And then items for consideration. Mr. Mann.
We're in projections, yes, we'll go ahead and go through this. It's kind of like I did this last year, and we'll keep doing it, every year, just kind of project what we're looking at as far as, ending the year, where we're at financially as a district. And right now, as of right now, these are all projections, and it's based on last year's spending. So we're pretty close. This would be the low end, very low end, so hopefully we'll get more money. So this is how we project. We always project low. Our current balance is $3.8 million. Our state funding is $207,000, and our taxes made through June is going to cost us $4.3 million with a projected total of $8.4 million. The revenue part. As far as the expenses, paying out our certified contracts, classified, sick leave, vacation buyout, employment, and pay out the rest of our budgeted items, we're at $4,077,000 would be our total expenses. So if you take both of those slides, and so that's where you got your total revenue, you subtract it from your total expenses. Our available balance would be 4.3, almost 4.4. So we always start the next school year with 2.6 million. The ongoing projects and equipment is the bus that we approved last meeting, and the Bass Gym. So we would be remaining money in the building fund is 1.2, right at 1.3. That's a low end. So right now, we'll look at July 1, the building fund will be at 4.2 million. And then, my recommend, like I said, we try to conservative at the end of the year prediction figure. We were very conservative on them. Just in case we have unexpected expenses, something that if AC units go out or anything of that nature that we need to fix right then, we can take care of it. So right now, with the money we have, I'm recommending a $1,000 bonus for all Fountain Lake employees paid on the June check. That would be classified and certified. The great thing about it, it's already figured into our end of year on those other slides because we used last year's projections from where we were. We did a $1,000 bonus last year, so it's already figured out. So it's not going to change our ending with building department.
So that's already in the total expenses of
Yes.
4 point, okay.
I feel like we're really good with our finance school district.
Does anybody have any questions about that? Or we,
The approval of $1,000 bonus for all employees to be paid in June 2026 payroll.
the motion is the approval of $1,000 bonus for all employees to be paid in the June 2026 payroll. All in favor say aye. Aye. None opposed? Board member comment? Any board member comment? I just had one thing, and I know we brought this up with Mr. Landry about doing like a summer academic camp. We kind of been in talks about that. We talked about it a couple weeks ago, and there's some things in the work. If you want to elaborate on
Yes,
that.
I sent out a Google form to all of our staff to see who would be interested, what buildings, what grade levels, and I'm getting some, people that are interested in there. So we're gonna have a plan, and we'll get the best plan we can for this summer and get some of our academic needs taken care of.
Yeah, and that would be, just, we don't know how to look, but it was just something we were kind of just kicking around and seeing if there is interest in the community. And obviously, before we see if there's interest in the community, we got to make sure we have staff to do it. So, should be more to come on that. You got any more superintendent comment? I'd like to call an executive session before we go into our resignation.
Can I ask one thing?
Hmm?
Where are we with the ACE deal?
Right now, and that's good because we need to talk about it. Right now, Boys and Girls Club can take 50 of our kids. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk to y'all about, to see how y'all felt about that, what we need to look at. So right now, we can take care of 50 of our students.
And that's up there.
Yes, it would be in there.
That's with their grant.
Yes.
That's us paying nothing. That's them adding on to their grant, and we would bus them up there.
Because their grant is tied to the Boys and Girls Club, and they can't take grant money and go to another facility.
I had the question, what, 50 kids? How do you choose 50 kids?
My thoughts, all I think of doing is sending out forms and based off need is the only way I can think of the best option.
How many did you say we had in faces this year? Or what's
Mr.
our?
Freeman?
Well, we
Close to 100.
had just under 300 enrolled, but those 300 did not attend at all times. So kids that were enrolled in the fall were mainly those kids who didn't play fall sport. Same thing is true with the spring.
So on
On an average day, we averaged 100, but we had highs and low days. Like usually Mondays and Fridays were usually our low days. We ran between 60 and 70 on those days. Tuesday was our high day. That was usually about 150. And then Wednesdays and Thursdays were kind of like 135, 125. But not all of those kids, not every kid that comes to FACES comes because of a family need. We have some kids who just sign up because they want to take a tennis lesson, or they just sign up because they want to come take archery lessons, or they just sign up because they want to come do gymnastics, and they just come one day a week. We ran into this issue, I think during the second grant cycle, where we had, well, actually during our first grant cycle, we had more kids signing up than we had money to pay, to purchase and to pay employees. So we had to make a decision on how we were going to prioritize. And so what we did is we went through and we prioritized those kids who were signing up for 5 days. Because the kids who are coming 5 days, that's because mama's working or daddy's working and they need somebody to watch those kids. The kids who came just for that one tennis lesson, we put them on the waiting list. And so and for those of you who don't know, I'm going to be the new director at the Boys and Girls Club, so I'll probably work really closely with Mr. Landry to try to make sure that we're prioritizing those kids when we're accepting applications, to make sure that we're targeting those kids that had that great experience.
How many would you say, we talked about this, if you could guess, like, how many, like, stay for, like, an hour? Like, it's not really, they're there for the whole deal, it's just until somebody can get there?
We have about 20 or 30 kids.
Okay.
Who are there just for that first hour. They're usually picked up during that first hour. And it's just waiting for somebody to get there, or they don't want to sit in a 2-hour bus.
Right.
Just some background, like the reason we're re-looking at doing what we're gonna do, I don't know if I said that right, but is we don't, for all these years, I mean, how many years do we have the grant?
16 years.
We had a grant for 16 years, and now they've changed qualifications, made it harder to get. You can elaborate if I'm wrong, but I think they made it harder to get, and now with all the...
So when you apply for the grant, you have the most points you can get for the grant, 50 points. And the first 30, we were not going to be able to get. So the most we could have had would be 20 points. And 120, is it 120 schools?
114 schools applied for the grant.
And how many?
There were going to be about 30.
30. So we were out.
They were facing
So they're squeezing.
Would there be a possibility, and again, I'll just shoot from the hip, but a possibility if we bus them up there, that at a certain time when it's over, bus them back so the parents don't have to drive all the way up there, they can just come to school?
Something we can definitely look at.
Yeah.
Except for the ones that...
I mean, if they want to go get them out.
Yeah.
I say, you have to weed out those that are there for 40 minutes.
Yeah, but,
Yeah.
you know, we're going to bring them home. If you run them before the time we're going to bring them home, you got to come get them.
So there's a large investment that's made into, faces or that, I don't know how much that we were getting a year. But basically we've crunched numbers and the numbers are very high. It's something we probably can't afford for as many people as we were. Taking each year.
Well,
70,000 for about every 50 people.
50 kids.
So we've been challenged with trying to find a different way to be able to handle as many kids as we can, which is.
Like, we'd prefer to keep it on campus but if we have 150 kids, then we're looking at $210,000, which, I mean, we just to see what we come up with, and there's some options out there, so, and I like that option for the 50, bust them back, and or the waiting list, like you're gonna be there the whole time, it's not gonna be just a 10, 20 minute, call it daycare stop.
Yeah.
For kids that are in need, I do think we have a whole lot. Anything else? Good? Okay. Yeah, so we're gonna.
Oh, yeah, I do have some. Sorry, I keep forgetting about this. Do we have, Peyton may be able to help me, do we have a schedule of events for the end of the year? Like, don't y'all have like the end of the year assembly for the teachers? And
It's on the board report.
it's on
The thing you share out with them, the board report, the
Mhm.
monthly thing.
And it'll be in the newsletter, the weekly newsletter too.
I mean, I love the newsletter because that keeps me going.
Thanks.
Me too, I'm serious, I mean, it's great, but I just, I thought about just all the things like the sport, like I saw the band banquet or the band award assembly, you know, and then like the sports banquet, and then like the end of the year deal, and just all those little things that happen at the end of the year. As a board member, you know, if we get the opportunity to come, we'd love to, so. That's all.
Yeah, it should be on the high school, on the last one you sent.
Should be at the very bottom.
Go look at my trash folder.
Anybody got anything else before we go to executive session? Be sure.
I'm sure.
Okay.
Pause.
Ready?
Motion to hire, motion to accept the letter of retirement of Kenny Sweet as a bus driver effective at the end of the 25-26 school year.
Motion to accept the letter of retirement of Kenny Sweet as a bus driver effective at the end of the 25-26 school year. All in favor say aye.
Motion to accept the letter of resignation of Deanna Hendrickson, middle school teacher effective at the end of the 25-26 school year.
Motion to accept the letter of resignation of Deanna Hendrickson, middle school teacher, effective at the end of the 25-26 school year. All in favor say aye.
I'm gonna put the rest of them together.
Yep.
Motion to hire the following corresponding positions for the upcoming 26-27 school year. Gwendolyn Wilkerson, high school front desk secretary. Holly Sorrells, district aide. Corey Jackson, senior high beta club sponsor. Spencer Gracie, head baseball coach and assistant football coach and classroom teacher. Landon Rowe, assistant football coach, assistant softball coach and classroom teacher. Jeremy Hildreth, elementary special ed teacher.
All right, motion to hire the following for the corresponding positions for the upcoming 26-27 school year. Gwendolyn Wilkerson, high school front desk secretary. Holly Sorrells, district aide. Corey Jackson, senior high beta club sponsor. Spencer Gracie, head baseball coach, assistant football coach, classroom teacher. Landon Rowe, assistant football coach, assistant softball coach, classroom teacher. Jeremy Hildreth, elementary special education teacher. All in favor say aye. Aye. None opposed, 5-0. And that is it. Thank y'all for joining us.